Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Scion the Tower, or welcome to Scion the Tower if this is your first time. I hope you're doing well. I hope you are staying nice and warm, depending on where you are. I know where I am, it is frigid, although I have been told that what I consider to be cold is not what everyone considers to be cold. It is what it is. Um, we have hit an interesting point within the story. But before we get into the story, it's more important to hear about the heroes, the demigods who will be carrying us through the story. So Crow, if you would tell us who you are playing, and any pertinence that you would like to share with the peeps out there in the interwebs.
Hello, I'm Crow. I'm playing Nolan Peters. Him. He is wow, it's only been a week and I forgot already. He is the demigod of war, son of Ares, and all around confused as to what is going on, but he will say he was right about everything, including Cthulhu. Um, a little bit about what I'm doing. You can find me on Corvus on the BS site. I don't know for how long, but you will find me there. And also the you find me entering the deep and the world below on Thursdays, coming back in December. So I can't wait for that. We'll have the whole crew and everyone. Please check out the world below. I think there's a link there, and also check out Curseborn. Hopefully, I might be doing something with Curseborn. So also check out Curseborn as well. And that's all I got.
Beautiful. Zach, if you would, please let the peeps know who you are playing, and any fun details that you would like to share.
Hello, I am Zachary Naldra, he, him. I can be found on the BS site at zachrules.com. Um, you can look for me other places. I probably am not there. It's just my name. It's just a placeholder. If there's anything resembling me, if it's resembling somebody named Zach Ruiz, he beat me there. Um, I was not an early adopter of TikTok. I'm sorry. Tonight will be playing the born son of Tara, Bodhi Lee of the Payas. Um, yeah, that's what I got for now.
Beautiful. So, in the city of Atusa, um, the once popular and alive Doug decided to build a tower. This was going to be somewhat a tourist destination where people could go to the tower and then, depending on how much money they spend, go to various realms of the gods. Um, it seemed like this attracted some negative attention towards him, and through some bad luck, uh, Doug is dead. The tower, however, still stands, at least partially. Um, and it seems like one of the entities that is attached to this tower, connected to this tower somehow, is this Cthulhu-like being that simply exists over the vast majority of Atusa. And has a habit of altering the minds of certain people. Some of the most relevant people being altered by this entity includes Doug himself, the people in the police department, the vice mayor, and of course, our very own Bodhi Lee has been affected by this. And Viper, a former Scion, or at least we thought that Viper was a Scion, who has released some Minotaurs in the hopes of gaining some popularity by defeating them. Um, with the towers being like this, kind of like the seat to all this, Bodhi and Nolan have gone to Scion Island, the like artificial island that Doug built in order to house the Tyon, and has cursed the land. However, on the way there, uh, Nolan attempted to contact an old friend, we'll say, Nyx. However, the phone call was intercepted by Hades, The two had a nice familial discussion, and it ended in what appears to be the death of Rachel. We begin with Bodhi having cast the curse upon the land. Um, what would you like to do?
Hmm.
What are the how are the effects of the cursing of the land going?
Uh, the effects happen pretty instantaneously. You see all the life just drain from all the plants. You see multiple animals attempt to leave. Some of them like toss out to the sea. Many of them don't make it there. The tower itself seems fine, but that's mostly because it's inorganic. But anything that was living, is quickly either dying or attempting to flee.
Yeah, I'm not sure that that's enough. Hmm.
Hmm. Okay.
All right. Feel free to,
Let
to,
me.
to do what you want to do while I come up with some bullshit Marvel out of my ass to just destroy this building.
That's fair. Hmm. Um, I wonder, are there any still like, I don't know if we collect all of it, but is there like still leftover demolition equipment and explosives here left behind, or
I mean, that's up to you. Like, if you would have had your peeps leave some stuff here, then yeah, it would be here.
okay. Because I'll probably have some stuff left here just in case. Um, probably. Okay, wait 1 second.
Yeah,
Bodhi.
yeah.
Your organic ricin disease curse. It's only for the land, right? Not for land and maybe some of the monsters or whatever's left over here. Not for demigods who have to walk through here,
No, no,
right?
no, yeah. It's just the land that's dying.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure before I walk through here and then, oh no, my flesh is melting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if you try to grow something, it wouldn't work. You probably shouldn't eat anything uh, that you take from the land here, but otherwise you'll be good.
That should be fine, I guess. Then he's kind of like taking point. Um, he's kind of left Snake Man behind with Bodhi and just kind of just walking on through, kind of opening doors and making sure like there's no um guys popping out of nowhere, no fish
Okay.
people.
Yeah, you're not seeing anybody. But as you do that, Bodhi, Viper like springs back to life, or guess springs back to consciousness, like taking in deep breaths, looking around very confused.
Can I tell that he's clear of the corruption? Does he have that smell that
He
we
does
had?
not have the briny smell that he or had just an hour ago.
All right. You're welcome back in
Eh,
more than ways than one. I would say.
Thanks. Where am I?
We're on the island that Doug built.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Um, what do you remember from before?
And so he explains fairly accurately um what you know. Like he met with you, he went over to this island, brought over minotaurs. There are some things where he's still trying to like piece back together, but it seems to be accurate.
Is it this island?
Yes.
How did you come about these minotaurs?
Oh, well, there's still some portals left open, and I just had this idea of how to open up a portal
Yeah.
and to where the minotaurs existed, and I brought them over. I thought they would help me.
Yeah. They might have. Kind of. One of them's still sleeping over there, by the way, so don't want to wake him. Or you might. I don't know if you want to have a conversation with the Minotaur. They're not always the most talkative type, though. Um, let's go take a look at these portals, though.
So he suddenly like stiffens up and is like, I don't think that's a good idea. I'll wait here on the boat.
Why don't you think that's a good idea?
I mean, I remember like summoning the Minotaurs, and I remember thinking it was a great idea. But that sounds really dumb in hindsight, so I don't know what's happening, but I'd rather not.
You before you came to that was an idea that you got at the island. That's something that you got in your head before you came to the island. So coming by the portals again isn't gonna like trigger you to make some.
But it will allow me to summon a thing. Like I can't summon a thing here.
Do you have the desire to something now? Summoning something now?
No.
Okay.
But also memories are weird. I just rather not go back there where poor decisions can be made.
Can I? So story guide is he is not aware that he was possessed at this moment. That he was under the
His
that he was under
memory
the
seemed
influence.
accurate. He's mentioned nothing about possession or someone controlling his.
All right. Can I do like a empathy roll to see if he is aware that he was under possession, or if he thought he did this on his own free will?
Yeah, give me a empathy cunning.
Empathy and cunning.
While that's happening, Nolan, you are like going through, and every once in a while you like look back through the massive hole in the tower, and you see Bodhi and Viper chatting.
Hmm.
Viper, given your mantle, Viper seems afraid of something, a little trepidatious.
Um, he's just gonna kind of pop out like the boogeyman behind him. Snake! Just shout that out.
You shut out Snake?
Yep, right behind him.
Ah, that kind of calms him down.
3 successes. One was a divinity dice.
Ooh. Um, Viper has no clue. He fully believes that every decision he made was his. To the point where the biggest like gap in his memory, like after like 10 minutes of him like coming together,
Mm-hmm.
is like, I don't know how I thought this was a good idea, but I was sure it was a great idea.
Okay.
Uh, can you tell us? Any about all your other good ideals there? Any you can think of involving the island?
Not really. This is my first time here. I never came when Doug invited me. I thought it was, too fancy for Scion.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, do you know? Let me take a step back and explain why we have come to this island. So, there is a we'll call it an entity that has been getting its fingers, tendrils might be a better word, and twisting people's thoughts and behaviors that has been affecting the city for a fair period of time. One of those people is Doug, who, from the best that we can tell, built this unknowingly, perhaps, to give this entity more power. So when this entity latches onto folks, they tend to think in ways that uh, don't necessarily that upon reflection doesn't make sense to them. It doesn't that is out of character for them. Like, for example, coming to an island and summoning minotaurs to unleash them on the city and then defeat them to make yourself look good.
She's like, but I didn't do it to make myself look good. I did it because I thought they would like help defend Atusa because Atusa's been
No.
getting super wild recently.
Yeah, it's been getting
Oh,
super wild because there's an entity with singing tendrils. But also, when I met up with you in the Minotaur, you were fighting the Minotaur.
Because they were calm on the boat, and then as soon as we stepped off the boat, they started like bellowing and like charging. So I had to stop it. You don't think
hmm.
I'm possessed, do you?
Not anymore. You're not.
Hmm. Viper, are you an open-minded sort? You are not.
Is
So
there
you say that,
is
and
there a persuasion roll that I can make against that right now?
uh so yes, you can. So Viper is just not open-minded. You can't persuade someone who's not open-minded to believe a thing. So make a persuasion roll with any bonuses that you want to include. Because you can tell, like, the thought of someone else controlling his mind, seemed to have put him in this very like shut down state, where he was spiraling and getting progressively more agitated.
Well, I think that this would be a because his mind was if his mind was damaged or injured by this thing, health purview might be appropriate.
Okay, I can see
Um,
that.
and as part of a casual miracle of Dominion of Health, this is a non-threatening ailment that he has.
Fair.
So that can be cured instantly to as part of this. Okay, all right. Well, that was not a very good roll. If it counts, the two successes were divinity dice.
does count. Ugh. It counts in the sense that it is not a catastrophic failure. Um, essentially, so this is a complex action. Yeah, I think that's what a complex action where you're
Okay.
like
Going
building on
back
set.
and
So those
forth
two
with,
successes
yeah.
work toward the complex action. He is tense. You don't know if there's like a sore spot for him, if perhaps uh his god has affected his mind before, and so feeling like he doesn't have control over his mind is a thing, but there is something that is causing him tension under the fact that he might have been in his mind possessed.
Does he know he's not a Scion, that he's something else?
Based on how he's been talking to you, no, he actually calls himself a Scion. During conversations before, he has mentioned
Right.
his god.
Well, no, he hadn't mentioned his god because when I asked him, he said he didn't know who his parent was. When I
Right, but he
did,
still like mentions that like there was a parent, I just don't know who it is. And so there's this mention of this parent there. He refers himself as Scion. So it seems like he is very much under the assumption that he is a Scion.
okay. So I'm gonna point out that how Blaine and point out Blaine's erratic behavior that was widely known in public discourse, and that this being was the cause of Blaine's actions, and appeal to that. Yes, of course. Just because this guy can affect scions, look at Blaine and how he killed that guy in the library and that college student, and
That was a very
all right. That and just trying to bring up like, yeah, this is something that he especially this thing especially attacks scions and scion adjacent folks because they have power. And two successes on that. One is a divinity dice. If I had a dice jail, a lot of these dice would be going in dice jail right now.
okay. The agitation is calming down. He is attentive to your words at understanding what this thing is. He is still slightly resistant to the fact that he might have been possessed, but he is listening. Nolan, what are you doing while this is happening?
Um, let them to have their talk while I'm investigating part of the island. Just again going back to doing what I was doing, making sure no fish people, no random tentacles, no elder tours popping
No,
out.
I'm not seeing anything that nothing is moving. Nothing seems to be alive on this island.
Hmm. That's the case. I am looking for like the core of this island then. Like the thing that's holding this place up.
The core that's holding the structure, the land itself.
Yeah, either the structure or like what makes this place tick. Because I know Doug probably had some sort of like epicenter of like, yeah, I can connect this thing to this thing with this thing.
Uh the epicenter would be the tower. Doug only built a tower on this island, but he made it such a large structure that you could fit everything in there.
And I'm taking out the center that's holding this place up. Setting up like the charges and everything. Making sure that like we can get back on the boat as soon as the stuff goes off.
Okay.
Uh, every so often he's spraying like ricin and like other plant like chemicals on different things just to make sure like let me spray this just to make sure nothing decides he wants to grow back up. No evil will come off this island, not while I am here.
All right, so you're setting up the charges.
After that's done, and I made sure all of it, checked it twice, just gonna walk back to the other two. Okay, we can blow up the tower now.
Good.
Okay. Well, first, let's get a few 100 feet away from the island. Just get on the boat. Everyone, back on the boat, please.
Um, the portals are still active that Doug built, and while blowing up the tower certainly would probably would disable them. Um, we should probably make sure these portals are actively disabled, so that when we blow it up, that it just doesn't. We don't end up with a live portal just shooting out into the ocean and you know flooding an underworld or uh, causing the ocean to just dump into Mount Olympus. I know when things you do, okay, maybe not Mount Olympus. We know how things we go on with your family right now. That might actually be positive. So, but we don't want to. We'd like to try to avoid causing more trouble than we already are by destroying the island. So if we could disable these things to make sure they're not working, blowing it
Fine.
up. I'm just saying.
I'm just
That's
I'm just saying, maybe flooding the underworld doesn't sound like a bad thing right about now. Like maybe it might cool off a certain person that I just got off the phone with. But you know what? It's fine. It's fine. We can just
okay. So not Hades. What if that turns up and floods Valhalla, and then we get a fucking entire pantheon pissed at us for
boats. They like water. I think they'll be fine with more water. It'd just be like, oh, ho, ho. Oh, we have like whatever they call their little boat, Viking boat excursion. Okay, but fine, fine. You're right.
yep, yep.
We'll
See,
find a way to turn it off.
yep, that's it. Anyway, so yeah, um, you know, as I said, as I was saying, if you can come with us, Viper, uh, think about how you know destroying this entity and preventing this darkness that has a hold on Atusa would make things better for your neighborhood, for the people that you, with good intention, are protecting.
I'll try, but I don't know how much help I'll be.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's go. You wanna? Let's go check them out. And then we'll go with Viper to the portals.
Okay. Nolan, as you're walking in, you get a text message.
What is this now?
It's Mark. He says, "Hi, your lordship, ruler of all. Um, what should we do about the racial thing? Uh, reporters are outside asking questions.
Oh my God. Okay, first, did you get the body?
No, the hospital, not the hospital, the hotel like called the ambulance, and so like that's where the body's in the morgue right now.
Okay, well, first things first. Make sure that the body is isolated and no one is getting in and out and around it. Two, reporters are asking questions. There will be a press conference tomorrow. The statement we are leaving is um, we are still looking into the sudden loss of our dear Rachel. Please, at this time, let our family grieve as we are still yada yada yada. Like how we do the press release when it comes to like stuff like
Well,
that.
there's we were trying to do. that, but there's been a slight problem. Apparently, someone at the police station says there's evidence that Rachel has been hanging out here, and then all of a sudden she gets a lot of money, and then she dies. So they're kind of blaming you.
He's calling Bodhi.
Yeah.
Bodhi,
Yeah.
your police officer stuff is happening. I am being blamed for
My
the death of Rachel.
first of all, first one, my police officer stuff. Um, can't wait. Why would you give her money to leave and then kill her? Like, where's the logic there?
I am going to push you in one of those portals. Okay,
I mean,
okay, okay.
like that's not a reasonable connection to make. Like, you already paid her to go away from where you are. Why would you kill her?
Okay. All right. I know how to deal
Like,
with this. And he's still looking for like other portals and on the phone, he's gotten good at multitasking, just going, okay, here's how we're gonna do this. First things first. She died. Wait a minute, she died before. We've all died before. Like this should not be like a new thing for anyone. So for anyone going, oh my God, she got murdered. This is kind of like a common occurrence for us. Just make sure like she's fine. She probably will wake up in about either 9 months or probably tomorrow. Number two, okay? She's an employee of the place. She got her severance package for the place that she worked at. And third of all, why are you in that young woman's business? She's trying to buy a house and you guys are hounding her. Spin this, make it look like the press killed her, and make sure it's a hashtag online.
All right. Let's see. This is what Mark does. See? So you remember how like last week I was just rolling beyond?
Uh-huh.
yeah.
You rolling
I
low.
think Google has heard my complaints and was like, okay, 75% of the dice you roll will always be ones.
And while I'm doing this, this is kind of like a marching order sort of thing. He's using his domain war and the press right about now is kind of how he's like booming this out.
Does marching order give enhancement?
Yes.
Okay. So then even still,
Right.
because you are not doing it, and I rolled three ones and a three. Um,
Oh.
like if Google was hearing my complaints and was like, all right, bet. Um, so you get a what seems to be a rush text because like there's a whole bunch of misspellings. He's like, "Can you pick me up from jail?"
Oh my goodness. Okay. Wait a minute. Why are you doing this? Where is Max? Go send that to Max. Max can handle that. My goodness, what is happening?
So there is something happening over on the mainland. We don't need to deal with that now. Um,
Goodness. Okay, I will deal with it when I'm not dealing with the tell the presses he's currently dealing with apocalypse. He will deal with this in about an hour and 30 minutes. Give me an hour and 30 minutes. This is what Doug had to put up with. No wonder he got where he is. Okay. Where the fuck is this portal?
so like the tower has like the center of the tower has just like portal rooms, and so there's portals of different sizes on each floor. Anything from the third floor and above has collapsed up on itself based on the earlier demolition, but there's still like the second floor and first floor that has multiple portals.
So the
Um,
yeah. Um. So uh did Nolan share any of the issues about the plan and the tag and the media thing?
yeah, up definitely. He made sure to complain and like add like every text message. It's like the capital letters are now even more capital, and there's a lot more exclamation points. Like it's very pointed.
So we're gonna tap into Silas and be like, hey, um, don't get arrested. But start putting this out that what are we saying that the media killed her? It's the media's fault that she's dead. Is that what we're saying,
Yeah, that's
Nolan?
what we're going with for
Yeah,
right now, and also adding she'll be back within probably tomorrow or within 9 months.
yeah, okay, yeah. So get this spreading around the Instagram, all right?
Okay. Yeah, sounds like you got it, boss. I'm on it. And get straight to it. Silas is safe from any sort of ramification because he is not connected to Nolan anyway, at least not the way that people know about. Um, and he is able to start getting it circulated. Um, he does report that there are many people who are saying that Rachel stole from Nolan, and that's why she was assassinated. Because who else could do such a clean assassination unless it was a god?
God, I got it. I'm going to fight. He's catching
Yeah,
hands.
we could have, yeah, we could have left her in Hades, and um, it's a frame job. That's why they're arresting Nolan's people instead of Nolan. They're trying to have a suspect. They're trying to the media is trying to tell you that Scions are killing Scions. And we don't just do that. And it's gonna just grab real quick, put his arm around Viper, pull him in, quick selfie. We don't do that.
Oh, that's fucking beautiful.
And send that over to Silas to put that out there to get that message spreading.
He's on it. He's like sending it out. He is on the war path, the social media war path.
All right, and I trust Silas enough to handle it from here. All right,
Yeah.
so we found these portals.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm not going to ask you to do it, but if you could tell us how you activated them.
Right. So each portal um is connected to a different pantheon. And in the center of the room there is a series, or there's a lot of different alchemical agents that you can use to get to different areas. Now, like it takes a little practice to get the right formula
Mm-hmm.
to open up a portal, but with that you can go to like Mount Olympus and then put enough panacea and holygrass in order to go to someone's house, or that's kind of how it works.
All right. And there's got to be something else powering it other than just the spell, though, right?
I mean, it was built um, by a psionologist, and so apparently, like the stone itself has some sort of, and it's like arranged in a way to like take advantage of the ley lines that like crosshair.
All right. So if we remove the stones, then the portals become inert because they need that.
Well, actually, let's see. You're smart. How much would you
No,
know?
I'm.
Okay, so Viper's like, we can't just move the stones because they've already been arranged. The latent energy is already there. So if you remove the stone, you're just like disconnecting the energy, and because it has nowhere to go, it will just open up a massive portal that could go anywhere. So you have to use a combination of herbs to deactivate it for a time, then remove the stone so that the energies are not just free flowing anywhere.
Nolan's looking to the occultist over here, and Buddy's looking over to the occultist Nolan over here, just be like, so yeah, what you got on that? What do you think? Yes, you are more knowledgeable on this subject than I am.
Well, I think he's just looking at everything, looking at the ley lines. He's just going, okay, cool. I can do this. He is going to tackle this in multiple ways. First things first, he is going because to him the easiest thing to like probably tackle first is the technology powering this before going for the arcane because he knows which one is more likely to do more damage to a Scion, the technology going haywire or the arcane going haywire. So he's defusing a bomb, is checking out the tech, making sure to turn off anything that could be helping to power this.
Okay. You wouldn't need to roll for that. Like, seems like the tech, especially because you were spent so much time down in the electrical room the last time you were here. Like, you have a good grasp on technology, so you turn off as much as you can. Although you do know that you need the electricity to open up the alchemical agent closet, essentially.
Gotcha.
But you can do that
Then
before you turn off all the power.
yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Um, and then after I've kind of make sure all of that is handled, gonna look at the reagent stuff. Just gonna be like, okay, hmm, all right. What will make this stuff inert but not explode? Don't need anything blowing a hole and opening a rift anywhere. Which one of you guys make everything inert? Because I know you have to have something like that here.
Roll an occult intellect roll. Uh, Bodhi, you can also roll to give some enhancement.
I want you to know this is all divinity dice I'm rolling, so this would empty my pool technically.
Because this is a mm, it is your choice to roll. If you do roll, then yeah, it would empty your pool, but you can choose not to roll.
So can I? You know what? What I would like to do?
Hmm.
I would like to meditate to contact the obsidian butterfly
Okay.
to get her opinion on how to best help with this situation.
Interesting.
Um, so question, two of our dice start off as divinity dice, correct? First two?
Technically, every time you reset, you go back to zero. And then if you do casual miracles, not casual miracle, if you do a marvel, if you invoke some scale, then you gain extra divinity dice. And so it like builds up
Right.
over time.
So
And
Okay,
then
I
okay,
like
cool.
before I cursed the island, I was at 3 divinity dice. Now I'm at 4 divinity dice.
Okay, cool. Then I shouldn't be at any. So I got six successes.
okay, six successes. Um, and you are contacting the obsidian butterfly.
I am, yes.
So you sit down and you think upon the glory of the hunt. Um, and a butterfly peacefully lands on your shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
It then flies over to one of the ingredients and just kind of like stays there for a bit before dispersing.
That one.
Okay.
It's just
Just
putting.
and just for context, because Crow didn't remember this, but he looked at his notes. He did do a thing last episode, so I guess that would carry over to this
Yes,
episode, correct?
DVD Dice
So
stage episode.
that so yeah, so there was two successes on those divinity dice.
Okay.
And one of them was a 10. I don't know if what that does.
So this is what that does. I'm going to assume because of like the state you're in, you're using this at the purview of war, and because this is a success with the divinity dice, it is one of those magnanimous divine successes. Um, you, for the first time in your divine life, get a premonition.
Oh.
Um, Something in your future that you theoretically can change will release this large, colossal sized entity stomping through Atusa.
Oh, okay. All right. That's not good at all. Um, I think he stops midway of grabbing that um agent that would like inert things, but he's also going to go like, "Hey, I just got a premonition about something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Monster, large monster that comes through, that's summoned through here, that is rampages through Atusa."
Right. So if we disable the ability to summon, it doesn't come, and we stop that from happening. Right. That's
Hmm.
the goal.
I think he's gonna think about like, did it seem that way, or did it seem like the opposite? Like, hey, you turn this off, big giant monster comes through, or he can't really decipher that.
Since this is the first one, that would be beyond. You do know there is a choice that you can make that will either facilitate or stop this.
I got a choice I have to make, but this doesn't feel like the choice.
Mm.
I don't know. Okay, damn it. All right.
But as you're like thinking this through, Bodhi stands up very confidently and points that one.
That's
Yep.
it.
Yep. I grab it and I look at it. I'm like, does it look like the thing that makes everything inert?
I mean, the fact of the matter is that like there's gonna be a different reagent and like different mixes of reagents for each portal.
Ah, for each portal. Okay. Um, Actually, a better question. Can I decipher the monster that came through?
You cannot decipher because of the nature of this kind of like premonition, you can decipher the monster. You can decipher like elements of the monster. So large, like a good 80, 90 feet. Um, Aquatic in nature.
Okay.
And borderline passive in that it didn't seem aggressive, but if you're 90 feet tall, you're going to destroy things.
Right. Then I'm looking for trying to see the place where aquatic like monsters would come from. I'm looking for that
So
portal.
each portal can generate aquatic monsters, because the portals are to specific Pantheon sets. And then depending
Yeah.
on the reagents you use, it's like, I'm going to Neptune's domain versus wherever else.
Okay. And you know what? Whatever this thing you pointed out, I'm just gonna inert whatever Pantheon's thing that is. Did she point to which portal that would be?
Yeah. I'm assuming you were focused on a portal while you were meditating.
Mm, I figure that because I was asking Turtle God that it would be a Turtle Portal
Mm-hmm.
will that will uh, be shut down, so that mortals will no longer be able to visit Mexicali and their underworld and
Mm-hmm.
overworld and all the delights and pleasures of the paradise that exist in there.
Okay. Then I'm gonna go to that portal and go to um the re where the reactants are, and I am just going to go ahead and shut this thing shut this thing down.
Okay. So it takes a little time, but you craft the reagent and sprinkle it across the portal, and it does seem like the remaining divine energy dissipates.
These are portals to underworlds for specific pantheons. Do they have smells? Do they have the sense of the divine connected to them?
Yes.
Okay. How many portals are there, and what pantheons are there?
There are 10 portals each, 10 portals per floor. And Doug was building to get as many as possible. Right now, there's only like 23 left. First floor, second floor, and then three kind of remaining on the third.
Okay. Well,
You smell, I disable.
does the reagent that disabled smell like the portal for the total?
Man.
So the does the reagent? What is the reagent that we have that the butterfly landed on?
The reagent that was point the buffer land on was Belladonna.
Okay. Let's pretend like I know what belladonna is, but describe it for the people at home watching. Um,
Uh, if I am not mistaken, Belladonna is a poisonous flower. I'm not sure where it is native to, though.
Oh,
all right.
okay.
All
Well,
right.
don't want to keep messing with that. Okay. Just gonna grab another reagent, kind of hold it up to Bodhi.
Um, what kind of vibes can we get? Well, Nolan can smell these things too, but like, or do we get any vibes that match up with any of the portals that are? Can we use the vibes from the belladonna and the one portal that we've disabled to connect the reagents to the other portals?
I would say, based on the successes and the fact that y'all don't have people anymore, so you're more attuned with the divine, you can use the process that you use for the first one to, it'll take a good like 12 hours to get through all their manual, but you can deactivate all of them.
12 hours to get this done. Good Lord.
Because it takes a while. You have to like prime the reagent and then like mix it, and then like it takes a while. But like Viper is willing to help in whatever capacity he can, and so y'all can get through. But like
So
it
yeah.
will be like straight up nighttime.
So like we split up. We go. We got three levels. We just have to match up and figure it out, and we do it up that way. Um, unless you got a better idea for taking them all out, because if we don't take them all out and Island go boom, uh, they all become like some mass fuckery. Anything that's left comes over mass fuckery of portals who knows what, and that might exactly be what this thing wants, is a way to get out. And so we want to make sure that whatever this thing is, that the Cthulhu isn't running wild. Even if it's just a mile in a Cthulhu, we still don't want to let that out either.
Wait, wouldn't it be smarter if we just find the Cthulhu portal and just close that one up?
I don't. Have we been able to identify enough portals to figure out which one a Cthulhu would be?
Uh, hmm. Roll me an intellect occult roll. Uh, Bodhi, you have a two plus two complications. Um, considering your unique connection to the Cthulhu.
Lovely. Since we're trying to do this fast and dirty, can it be cunning?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
I'm rolling out as well, right?
Hmm?
Uh, okay.
That is probably uh, a mortal failure.
Uh,
That is no successes and two ones on divinity dice.
Oh no.
four successes, one on the divinity die.
Okay, I'm gonna take care of Nolan for a second. Then we're gonna come back to Bo.
Um, One question: can I add field work since this is kind of technically that sort of deal?
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So go up to five then.
Um, you it comes to your realization that you don't know much about what this Cthulhu is, and so you don't know what pantheon it's connected to.
Right.
The only clue you would have is that it has this briny smell, but for all your like now experience with the divine and descent of the divine, you don't know any pantheon that emits a briny smell. And so you would be unsure which specific portal it is.
Okay.
Bodhi, what purview would you have been using?
Um, I don't know. None of my. I mean, I guess maybe the Pantheon purview is. It's the only one that is really occulty.
Right.
Um,
I'm going to say.
but yeah, um, the last one that I used was health.
Okay. Um, I know how this is going to go. Um, so you unfortunately come to the same realization. You're like, I'm looking around. I'm not smelling any brine scent, so you don't know if this is like. And also because it's a Cthulhu and like you know what it looks like, it may not be a god, which means it may not be part of a pantheon. There's a lot of things that you're like, I don't know what this is. Um, and then you just go off and like continue your mixing of the reagents.
Uh huh. There's an ant butt there that I can sense and see in your
I don't
eyes.
know
Dramatic bat.
what you're talking about.
There's certainly and there's an and but that's
Some,
right
And but
there.
yeah.
There's something about to happen.
I mean, all I know is that Bodhi Lee, who heroically used his body as a vessel to save Viper, is now by himself, uh, you mixing reagents to deactivate portals, as he had a catastrophic failure from connecting to this creature. That's
Uh-huh.
that's the story that we have built right now.
That is where we stand. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So after 12 hours, um, it seems like everything is complete. All the portals have been deactivated.
So tired. Okay. Now, where is everyone? I haven't heard them in 12 hours. He's no one's gonna look for the others.
Viper is because I assume Viper would have had the third floor. He's just on the boat, chilling with the Minotaur.
They're playing spades.
Kind of, yeah. Minotaur just like kind of chilling out. Viper's trying to teach the Minotaur how to talk. Minotaur seems a little like pissed off, but isn't attacking anybody.
But how are you playing spades? But you don't even have a book.
It's fine. You just make do with what you have. Are you done?
Listen, oh my goodness, I know some aunts who will look at this and be ready to fight you over this.
Well, that's why we're doing this out
Yeah,
here. No one can see.
yeah, yeah, sure. I'm done. Where's Bodhi?
Bodhi would have been done by this time too.
Okay. Um,
You good there, buddy? You got your stuff done?
yeah, yeah. I think so. It should be all good. Yeah.
Okay, because I'm blowing this place up.
All right.
Uh, Getting on the boat is getting the boat a little bit further away before exploding everything, and
Mm-hmm.
then he hits the button.
All right. And you watch as the remaining tower explodes and crumbles in on itself. So ends the tower.
There it is. The tower is gone.
I am now going to reverse the curse and bless the land
Okay.
so that wild overgrowth completely consumes
Nice.
everything on this island. So if anybody tries to come here, it's just a bunch of fucking trees and
It's like just too much to even consider.
yeah, uh, and just let nature take over and have it
Oh,
control.
all right. This island like explodes with flora and fauna, including the water below it, which just like generates all of this coral almost instantaneously. Fish and wildlife all return. This is just like a pocket of life energy.
Okay. We got this done. 12 hours. Probably have to deal with stuff on land. All that drama. All right. We actually finish and accomplish a mission without me having to go ahead and panic about it.
Yeah, we got that going for us. Checking in on social media, see how Silas is doing.
Silas has been like posting nonstop. He's got into a couple of fights, Instagram fights, but like he has been going strong. Um, Still fine.
And while we're on the boat heading back to the city, with my new connection to this being, can I see, are the tendrils still out there?
Yes, if I remember correctly, there are three tendrils that you see.
Three. Okay. So we got it's the family,
Yep,
the cops, and the vice
the
mayor.
mayor. Yeah.
All right. I think we laid the grounds for the family to be we started
Yeah,
to
because
pick
you
up. So
already had Silas like investigating and chatting with peeps.
yeah. So yeah. We're going to see what Silas came up with that is actionable on them.
Uh,
Um, so exercising these people is a bit of a there's a lot of them. Um, Hopefully this what we did is cut off some of it, but We need a way to test that. The other option is we just go straight for the vice mayor.
I feel like we got to take out the other two limbs before we take out that one because I feel like that's a final boss if I ever heard one.
He's a vice mayor, not a mayor. And let's be honest.
Yeah, Vice
Uh,
Mayor. Therefore, he's the shadow puppet hand, which makes him even more of a boss.
so he's got his hand up, but the thing he's got. There's a lot of
Yes,
hands going
yes,
up
yes.
things. Yeah. All right. I mean, so yeah, do you want to? We're going to go after this family and purge all of them.
Sure. Like, how powerful of a family we're talking about? Like old money, new money,
Old
founding
money.
fathers.
Old money, who certainly got certainly got some red hat energy in the past 9 months or so, where they didn't have that energy historically.
Hmm.
Oh, you talking Freemasons, Skull and Bones? I need to know to make a call.
No, no, more like the hashtag fuck the Theoi and kind of QAnon and type bullshit.
Oh,
That type of red hat.
oh, then I know who to call then. He is going to make a call to his one of his fate bind contacts.
Hmm. Would this be one of the Fate by Contact that hangs out at the bathhouse?
No, the city planning business folk.
Yes. Yes. I'm just gonna roll. Does not matter what I'm rolling for. It has nothing to do with you.
Oh my
It never
goodness.
does.
Never
It
does. I
never
just do this
does.
for funsies. Okay, yeah. You call.
Hey, Charlotte, how are you?
Um, I'm I'm good. How are you doing?
Doing well. Charlotte, you know, okay, I know how you love to be the one of the most powerful people in the city.
Uh, yeah. You can tell that her like voice is very low. She is whispering into the phone.
He's just gonna whisper back into the phone. What's happening?
There may or may not be police outside my office.
Okay, don't worry, I'll handle it. He hangs up the phone. Okay, change of plans. We have to handle the police first.
Okay.
Right, I didn't want to have to do this. I that's why I thought, if you went over there and talked to them, it'd be peaceful, but I feel like peace was never an option in the first place. First things first, I am going to put a curse on the police department.
So I'm assuming this is a Marvel,
Yep, this is definitely a marvel.
which means you get an extra divinity dice.
Yep. Uh, Basically, I am going to uh have disorder amongst their rank.
Mm.
Have them
Okay, so this
fighting
is
each
like
other. Yeah, having them fighting each other for like, no, I get to sit at the seat of power on this one.
okay.
I'm driving. No, you're driving. No, I'm driving.
Yeah, they've decided to do their Hunger Games against each other, and no one is in charge anymore.
Okay. So you're on the boat and you spread this disorder amongst the police force army.
Say that again?
Oh, you as you're on the boat, and you infuse your energies into the structure that is the police force, causing disorder amongst the ranks.
Yep. And just holding a finger up. Huh. that passion and chaos that I'm normally involved in. I can feel that happening. I just needed to give an extra little kick. Just give it a little bit of dramatic spice, if you will. Bodhi, he just plucks a piece of Bodhi's hair, blows it out. They won't be allowed to use guns.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we will deal with that. And then they have two choices: either take each other out or beg me to release them and pick a leader amongst them.
All right. The Marvel has been cast. Within the next like 10-ish minutes, you arrive down by the docks.
With that 10 minutes, I'm gonna call up Silas. Be like, "Hey, um, if you happen to see any police, they're probably gonna do some shady shit right now. So that would be a good thing to get on camera.
Yeah.
Put that on the Instagram."
By the time you get back, uh, there are dozens of reels that Silas has gotten from different police, um, fighting each other, fighting civilians, just everywhere there is just violence.
Um, and I'm gonna look at our Viper, and I'm going to be like, now then, I'm going to show you the proper way of how you do this. Take notes. He actually hands him a notepad and a pencil. He makes his way. He's going to sit right on the front steps of the police department, and it's just going to wait. Just going to watch them have it out.
Okay. So you and Viper are at the front step just watching all of the chaos. Bodhi, are you down there with them?
Yes.
Okay.
Give
And
me.
so you watch as multiple people who have been told to go enact violence to stop Nolan's evil army are now vying amongst each other and vying amongst the populace in order to gain singular seniority. And so there is just police brutality throughout the city, sans the guns, because part of that Marvel was no guns.
Um, well, as we're watching the individual cops battle each other out, can we see who? Can I see any? Like, is the tendril getting any of them, or is it still going like right into the police
Right
headquarters?
into the police force.
I'm going
Also,
to.
just to be clear, they're battling each other, but they're also battling civilians.
Yeah, so I'm gonna. Okay, I'm gonna punch any that are battling civilians as I go by,
Okay.
because they're causing suffering
Hmm.
unnecessarily, and that is just not cool. But I am also going into the police station to try to find where this tendril is actually, what this tendril is actually sunken into.
Okay. Um, and considering what is happening, like there is no like resistance, no one's like trying to stop you. You just go to the back and you see Lieutenant Dangle.
Fucking dangle.
Sitting at his office, taking notes, typing something.
Um, while that is happening, I am looking for one person. I am looking for, let me see, I need, because while that's happening, you know, he's going to throw out another Marvel. He's looking for one singular person. He's looking for a college age kid.
Okay.
Gonna point out to that one. All right, kid. Guess what? Today you are going to save the city, and you're going to unite, and you are going to lay down the law on a bunch of these law officers who have pretty much made themselves a burden onto the city. You're going to reunite the city. He's going to
You're
boost that kid up.
you're giving one student the power to save the city.
Yep, and I'm just gonna um that's the only time you see him take off on the steps. You're kind of a scrawny thing though. But beggars can't be choosers, and unfortunately you're burdened with this, so there's no option.
All right. So first thing is first, you have a new fate bind.
Yep. I
Uh,
kind of
we're,
figured.
we're gonna say this student is a disciple, an apprentice of yours, as they are drawn into your story. Um, how would you like them to save the city?
This under war, many people will take up arms, but I want you to be a defender, not an attacker. I can make plenty of attackers, but you're gonna use that brain of yours to rescue and defend everyone and stamp down on anyone who tries to stop you.
Okay. And with that, the student takes off. Um, and as they're defending the city, Silas starts catching them in his Instagram reels so the city can see this young student being the hero that we all need.
And just to make sure to like, because he knows that Silas is Bodhi's protege, like his, I guess, disciple, whatever. He's gonna make sure that like he gets like a good clip of this. Make sure that divinity sparks off of Nolan's finger onto this kid's forehead, and like a green crown kind of surrounds this kid like a halo.
Gotcha. So this kid is like is using your particular what's it called? Using your symbology so that everyone knows that
Yeah.
they're defending the city in your name. Interesting. All right, I like it. As this is happening, Bodhi, you are face to face with Dangle.
Mm-hmm.
Dangle doesn't look up, just keeps typing. How can I help you, citizen?
Well, have you been out to the water recently?
With that, he'll stop and look up and say, "No, I haven't been out of the water for, almost a year at this point. Why do you ask?"
Well, see, here's this funny thing that's been going on. We've been running into people who have been going out to the water and have had a significant change in behavior and attitude. Uh, and it seems to be causing issues in the city of Atusa.
Well, I thank you for your concern, but you leave Atusa to me and the APD. That's our job.
Well, that's exactly the thing here. Uh, I've been able to tap into what this being that has been having this corrupting influence on the city and the people that it has been corrupting, and been able to track them down and find them.
Well, we appreciate your help. Leave us a report and then we will do what needs to be done.
Was it Officer Dingle,
Lieutenant Dangle.
Lieutenant Dingle. Um, so let me just kind of get. Apparently, I'm not explaining it quite in a way that sinks into you. As I said, I've been finding the trails, and it's been leading me back to the source of to who is under this thing's corruptions.
Well, I think maybe I'm not explaining this to you, but that is not your job. You do your job of, I don't know, sitting down and being worshipped, and I'll do my job of protecting the city.
But I have to do something to be worshipped for. And this is where it comes from. And he's just going to reach out and just, like, kind of place a hand on Lieutenant Dangle's face, and very much in a revival tent, I heal you in the name of the Lord type of thing. Jesus, he's going to start exercising him.
You have what? How? You have two options. What do you want to do with the entity at when you exercise it?
Um, so I want to heal the lieutenant to force the entity out of him.
Right? And where do you want the entity to go after it is out? Just like just be free?
No, no, we've learned from that lesson. Does Lieutenant Dangle have any plants in his office?
You know what? Maybe he has a cactus. I will roll for cactus.
Uh, while that's happening, I have kind of slipped into the doorway, um, kind of like a menacing shadow behind Bodhi.
Oh. Dangle has no cactus.
One of the one of these desks, one of the cubicles that lead up to the desk, has to have some sort of plant
Yeah, somewhere in the
building.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to force it. Use fertility to pull it into the plant.
Okay. Um, this doesn't take much considering, but Dangle is a trivial target to you. Um, I need you to roll an integrity composure roll to see if you can get this entity into the plant.
Okay. Um, okay. So if a divinity die explodes,
Hmm.
does that mean the resulting die that it comes explodes into is also a divinity die?
That's a good ass question. I'm gonna say yes. I don't see why not.
All
Oh,
right.
okay.
Well, that is four successes. Three of those are divinity dice.
Okay, yes, you are successfully able to latch this entity to the plant, rather than it finding a suitable host itself.
Okay.
And then you watch as within the next like 2 minutes that plant shrivels up and dies, and the arm retracts. There are now two tendrils.
So, Lieutenant Dangle, do I have to explain kind of what just happened here?
Much like Viper, Lieutenant Dangle seems confused. Has no has fairly strong memory, but justifies every action he's taken as it made sense at the time, although now it doesn't make sense at all. He doesn't know
Okay.
why.
So, you see this dead plant here that was just alive and you just saw it die right before its eyes. There was something that was causing within the department through you a corruption to sowing chaos and distrust and many of the throughout the city, and has targeted others.
Is oh no, is there anything I can do to help?
Um, First thing, so apparently you have an investigation into the death of Rachel, Scion. Uh, yeah.
Yeah.
So guess what caused that? Yeah, that corruption. Um, her death was fighting it, um, and so you can kind of, if you could lay off that
Yeah, I
investigation.
can I can stop
Because
that
yeah,
immediately. And he
yeah.
like gets on the horn. Um, then say, I need to go. Apparently, my entire department is engaging in war with each other, so I need to fix this.
Yeah, you should go fix that.
Yeah. Gods be with you, Lieutenant.
Thank you both so much. And if there's anything I can do after I fix this, please don't hesitate to call. And he gives you his business card for his like private number. Like, please let me help. And then he runs out. What are you all doing? Stop it.
Fuck. Okay.
And I think, yeah, we're about halfway through. It's time for a little break. We'll be back in about like 10 minutes. Until then, have a good one. welcome back. Uh, we are 60% done severing the ties this Cthulhu has to Atusa. Um, as Lieutenant Dangle runs out, yelling for his police officers to stop what they're doing. What are you all, what's your next plan?
All right. Um, so, do we think Lieutenant Tangle has this under control that he can get the cops back into?
Once the curse is removed, yes.
Yes, I could remove it, but there was a condition that I added to it though.
What was that condition?
Uh, they will have to ask me to remove it.
Ah, okay. Um, who knows that you put a curse on them?
Uh, Bodhi, it'd be Bodhi, it'd be Viper, but also probably the entity because he made sure that whatever force was controlling Dangle probably felt it.
Right. Okay.
So Dangle, so Dangle would probably also feel it as well, seeing as he's the one being puppeted.
Dangle doesn't know. From what you can tell with the entity, the way the like manipulation works is essentially acts as a voice within your head. So you don't realize that you're being controlled, nor do you understand many of the actions you take. And when you
Okay.
like lose that like connection, you just like, I don't know why I thought it was a good idea, but I definitely thought it was a good idea. So Dangle has no clue um that there is a curse, that there was a condition. Dangle is just like my police officers are just doing horrible things. I don't know what's happening.
Huh. Then that
Viper.
defeats the purpose, then. But that does tell me a thing. He takes out a pair of scissors, cuts something in the air, and the curse stops.
And you hear Dangle ripping into the police officers, um, and being like, why can't you be like this student? This student was the only one protecting anybody else.
Viper. Lieutenant Tangle might need some help. Here's your chance to do some good as a Scion, and uh, go see what Dangles needs you to do to help out.
Heck, he might even deputize you after you're done.
Yeah, Dangle is just uh re just like having a nice stern talking to his deputies while like bringing praise on this young student.
Um, Before Nolan goes off to complete the other assignments with Bodhi, he's gonna take off his glasses up just a bit, wink at the student, put the glasses back down, and head off with Bodhi.
Okay. And so you get the feeling this student, while the APD likely does not know of your connection, this student is going to laud your praises as they now have all eyes on them.
Go look at Bodhi.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Bodhi's going to give a little slap on the back to the student, and is going to do a little marvel and give him a little bit of a epic strength purview blessing.
Interesting. Okay. Over the next few days, this scrawny student is going to significantly increase in strength. Not like muscle mass, they'll just like be way stronger than they were as their body like transforms to take on this like epic strength.
All right. All right. So you said you wanted to save the Vice Mayor for last.
Yeah, I feel like this feels like an order of operations. If we go for like the main head, he hits us with all the weapons he has.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. Bodhi, you look at this guy to see where your next two tendrils are, and
Mm-hmm.
you see them retracting into the entity.
Well, that's convenient. I don't think that is going to be the end of things.
Huh.
But it seems to be releasing its prey, at least for the time being. So we got that going for us.
We gotta come up with like a award or something for this thing.
Okay. How? How do we do that?
Oh, well, usually there's like a award for like almost every supernatural creatures. Like, like traditions go like if you put salt outside your house, it wards against this thing. If you put a certain sigil, I mean, we're demigods. I mean, we should be able to figure something out.
Okay, so we have to research Cthulhu and find out
Well,
how to get rid of Cthulhu.
not necessarily that, but something strong enough. I mean, like silver, right? I mean, why does silver ward werewolves? Like, there's like a legend that's involved, right? And we're demigods, so we should be able to create said legend.
Hmm. Okay. So plants. We took out the tower and
Hmm.
covered the island in plants. We just we just banished one of the tendrils into a plant.
Hmm.
So plants can keep it at bay.
Okay. But what kind of plant? Gotta be more specific. Gotta kind of like nail it down to that one thing.
What is a very common plant that grows in the city of Atusa naturally?
Hmm. I'm gonna say that Tuesday is Pacific Northwest. So in Atusa, none. Atusa is very metropolitan. Most things have been like blanketed. Although the outskirts of Atusa, the forests, you will see um some any plant that's common in like the Pacific Northwest area.
Should be like a house plant that someone can hang up.
Yeah, and that you can get it like any florist or like home goods or
Yep.
I mean,
like home improvement nursery type. Something that's easy to
depending
grow
on
and easily
on
found
how
in
long you want to
soil.
do this, you can turn this into a complex action and just kind of like spend your next few days building and like turning this thing.
Yeah, yeah. Let's work on that.
You would have to pick the plant because you would know that more than I would.
Um, Science and intellectual.
Yep, sounds good to me.
Okay. Can I get an enhancement from the fertility purview?
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So, quick question. So, divinity dice, the pool empties when you roll, and all of your dice are divinity dice, right?
Yes.
What if I have more divinity dice than I roll? Do I still have one left over?
Mm-mm.
No.
Starts from
Okay.
scratch.
All right. Well, goodbye all of my divinity dice because that was my entire pool, more than my entire pool, and that is 3 successes, all on divinity dice.
Right. So you decide rather than having one plant, you will make a combination of three plants, like making a wreath or a floral arrangement that make use of three plants commonly found within the Pacific Northwest. One being the carpet juniper, a nice, like, lovely base. Then on top of that base, you have the beaked hazelnut, and then finally, to like top it all off, you have the Arctic iris. A combination of these three will generate a particular scent that you will then infuse your legend with to create a barrier.
All right. I am going to call up Sasha.
Okay.
All right. Um, you let her know that she needs to create a garden on the temple um, to grow these 3 plants.
Okay.
And task her with that.
Yeah, she is like already on it. She is super excited.
All right. That is step one. What nursery in the area? Are there any nurseries in town that have all that grow all of and sell all 3 of these plants?
Every nursery in town has the Arctic iris. About half have the juniper. Very few have the beaked hazelnut because that's like you can just like walk right outside the city proper and it's like right there.
Okay, we're going to go to the ones that have all. I want to go to the ones that have all 3,
Hmm.
and that grow all 3. And how many? We're talking like a couple, like 2, 3 of them. Not a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am going to imbue the land that these nurseries are growing these plants on with the favor of nature. Blessed land rapidly blooms with plant life, undergoing rapid surge of growth over a matter of seconds, and eventually an entire growing session's worth of development over the course of a week. These lands remain fertile enough to provide enhancement on 3+ rolls and cultivating the harvest, or to harvest it for 3 years, or for legend times boon years after this boon ends.
Hmm.
Which means that I can go boop. This land is going to be blessed for 5 years to grow, and then I can just pull it right back. So it's just like bing bong, bing bong, bing bong,
Right.
rapid fire, blessing the nurseries that can grow these plants. It would also bless the other plants that they grow. That'll be a side bonus for them, a little
Hmm.
kick up to do their part. But yeah, we're gonna increase the cultivation of these plants. And once the Sasha has established the garden, we will also do this at the. I imagine he probably would have already done this at the temple. Like the temple can so that they can have their own kind of garden and grow their own like vegetables
Right.
rapidly. And so I don't know if he would need to do it there, but yeah,
Yeah, we'll
we
say because the temple is so connected to you, it just exudes that fertile soil, regardless of whether you like enact that boon or not.
all right. Yeah,
All right.
all
And
right.
so Atusa is very much prepared to grow multiple of these needed plants. Nolan, what will you be doing in this process?
Um, the second part that you always need, so it's first is the ingredients, but second is the actual legend itself. Um, Basically, I'm having that spread amongst on social media. So I've had Max and possibly Silas get together and spread that around. Um, Spreading that legend in different spots about like warning against Cthulhu and fish people and all of the corruption that happens with it. He's doing it sneakily, like okay, if you ever heard of like, the Sage Boom, where like every um North Pacific, West, and also on the East Coast, where everyone was in their little witch talk occult phase at one point,
Hmm.
and they kept getting all the sage. So he's spreading it around that phase, and then spreading it around outside into like the Wine Mom podcast groups, and
Right.
allowing that to expand with
But
that legend.
here's the big question. Are you having Silas and Max say specifically, do this to protect you from Cthulhu, or are you having them say this is the brand new hot thing on TikTok?
A little bit of A, a little bit of B. This is how he's wording it. Uh, Warning it as the dangers against outer gods, Cthulhu.
Nolan, roll me an integrity composure roll, please.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, not Nolan. Bodhi, roll me an integrity composure roll, please.
um, I do get some divinity dice back for my blessing of the land, right?
Yes.
Okay. Uh, how many do we say that that's gonna give back? Like,
We will say just because it is you were doing the same thing just multiple places, we'll say that was one act, so you gain one back from that.
all right. Wow, that's a lot of dice for only one success.
Okay. Um, Bodhi, you have been you have become somewhat close with Silas. Um, and aside from your like initial interactions, which if I remember correctly were not like great, um, you have been able to rely on him and he feels very proud that you will occasionally ask him for help and he is able to help even if it's in a very small way. Like there is a lot of pride and it's gone a long way in like helping him grow as a human being.
Uh huh.
As you're like on your way back to like make sure like Sasha's doing a good job with the garden, one tendril comes down.
Mm-hmm.
And while you don't know exactly where it is, it looks to be in the direction of the university.
Lovely. Do I happen to have any of the this combination of plants on me?
I would assume, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to the university.
All right. So you're heading to the university. Nolan, you are making sure that this is all.
Making sure all of this is happening, having it organized, but he's also doing one thing. Um, invoking basically, he's like, okay, I think I know how you're doing this. You're feeding off of everyone's insecurities. All right, I got something for that ass. It's just gonna go get on social media. Oh, okay. How did they do this? I know. He takes out a like sheet of paper, puts on the side, hits record. You are worth it. Don't let anyone else tell you you're not worth it.
Oh, damn.
And he's given like the most emotional um plead of like, you got this. You just gotta pop out and show them. And he's just feeding into the opposite of their insecurity. He's
Mhm.
using their passion of like, yeah, no, I can do this. I don't need someone else puppeteering me and making me do this. I can do this myself.
Your next title needs to be something with self-esteem. I'm just tossing that out there.
Gotcha. Yeah, but
That's
like he's putting that
beautiful.
out there.
I love.
Because he's making sure he's cutting off that insecurity fate that is wrapping its tendrils around everyone. And he's just like, yeah, nah, fuck that. You gotta go now.
So, people's mental well-being have been bolstered by Nolan. People's physical well-being will be bolstered by Bodhi, through the use of this flora combination. Now it's just a matter of doing the final infusion of that legend. But before that, Bodhi, you are going to help your friend.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. You go to Silas's new apartment, because the last one was destroyed by a rampaging gold lion. Um, and he is super excited to see you. He's like, "Oh my gosh, Bodhi, I'm so glad you're here. Wait, what am I? It doesn't matter. I want to show you the what I've been doing." And he
Mm-hmm.
shows you all of his TikTok, all of his Instagram stuff. For the most part, it seems on message. The last two seem ever so slightly off. One message is um feeding off of Nolan is like, yeah, you don't need to be afraid. You can go out anywhere, and because like this is your place, go to a coffee shop, go to the docks, and just be who you are. So slightly encouraging people to go to the docks.
Is he actually handing his phone while he's showing this?
He didn't, but if you ask, like he'll probably say
Yeah, yeah.
yes.
Let me see that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, here you go.
Yeah. What was the other one that was slightly off?
So he's talking about how you should go to uh what was it, plant shops to get the stuff. There is one plant shop that he is talking about how they had poor business practices in the past. And while that is true, if there's only like three plant shops that sell these three things and he's actively attacking one, you can already see he's like actively trying to make it harder to get access to these plants, even though in his mind, we don't need to support them.
You know what? There's a collab that we've been needing to. Let me see that. Let me see your phone.
There you go. Do you want some protein powder? I got some new stuff. It doesn't taste good, but I have it. I
Uh,
can make it for you.
no, I personally avoid those um, products. I try to eat as natural food as possible. Um, he's going to delete those two,
Right.
and then he's going to go live
Hmm.
on Silas's phone. Just
All
gonna
right.
just kind of hold it up. As as the people of Tusa may have heard that there is, and wait, just to take a step up, I have confirmed that he is the tendril is on him, right?
Yeah.
As people may have heard, there is, you know, Silas has been promoting how these plants have benefit and protection against, but we have not really, you know, people haven't really been told what it actually protects against, and Silas has decided to show, make a great sacrifice so that we can show you what is going on. And he's going to lay out the plants. And sure, Silas has as tripod sitting around where he can
Yeah.
just like
Like right there.
right there. And then he is going to proceed to draw out the in spectacular faction
Hmm.
and then imbued legend into the plants so that it banishes, so they can see, so that there's a visual that everybody can see
Right.
the darkness being pulled out and then getting expelled.
Okay.
And where's my character sheet? There's my character sheet. Um, I am going to tap onto I think the legendary title of Who Breaks the Curse. This is definitely a curse situation. Would apply here.
Mhm.
And of course, fertility to uh, is going to boost up these plants.
Yeah.
And this is social media, so I would think that presence and persuasion, because he's charming the people watching this into seeing
Sounds good to me.
this happen live. Okay. So that is 4 successes.
Um, and this is so successful. You hear a student downstairs say, "Holy shit!" Uh, as it seems like the visual of you uh saving Silas really resonates with the college here. Um, these students are also now devotees of you. But it also seems like many of the people in Atusa who like didn't really know what was going on now have a nice visual to connect it to. Um, and within the next 10 minutes, these plants are they're technically back ordered in the system just because the system hasn't had enough time to update it to the sheer
Mm-hmm.
amount of plants they have now due to your fertility blessing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the mayor of Atusa has put out a statement saying that he is working with city planners to redesign Atusa to allow these plants to grow more openly within the city. So just like more grass spaces, bigger parks, although the park will take a little while to build because that is construction. If this is what we are dealing with, and Atusa will be prepared to stop it at all costs.
Uh, while Bodhi's working on that, Nolan is secretly um running back and forth. He's like knocked on the door of like the drag queens.
Mm-hmm.
Just it's been like knocking on the door. Stacy! Stacy, I know you're there. Stacy,
What?
I need you to make a garment for me. Not like that. I like I need you to be like a seamstress to like a god. It's kind of what I need you to do right now.
The door
You're
like creaks open. So you're telling me that you want to wear my outfits?
oh no, it's not for me.
Store slowly starts to close.
Put a boot inside like the door. No, no. It's to stop an invading outer monster god thing.
You know,
You'll be
I'm so busy, but I would love to make a garment for my friend. So if you were to wear my garment once, maybe I might be convinced to.
okay, but I'll send you the design. I'll send you the design because I know how you liked it. Like you over embellish. Like I need you to. We'll talk about it later. Like yeah. We'll do a thing. But like right now, this is more like a little bit more important right about now. State of the Atusa.
Okay, okay. Tell me what you need. You know I got you.
Okay. Um, I need a black and green. It has to have these, and he's pointing out the plants. It has to have these embellishments in this. It's got to look like monk robes, but like
Okay,
the coat has to like actually spin out. Like it has to be able to like bellow out, and it has to be something he can spin with.
okay. Love a good spin. Okay, I can do that. When do you need to buy?
Also,
Oh,
okay, so here's the thing, because you love me and you say that we're friends. I kind of need that by tomorrow. Don't worry, I will send the girlies over. I will send the girlie. Love you. We'll send the girlies over. He's already out the door. I've already texted them. They're coming over. It's not like you have a drag show coming up soon. I know, like you told, I got back orders. You ain't got. Listen, Rue ain't asking for a garment right now. You're fine. You can get this done. Love you. I gotta get the other stuff ready.
and a big heavy sigh, but you know what that heavy sigh means. Stacy gonna put all effort into getting it done.
Um, he's getting all of this stuff prepared for the docs. He's already texting like Bodie's followers, his followers. I'm like, I need people in green and black robes. Green and black robes. It has to be emerald green, a dark green. It better not be a sea green. I swear to God, if you have a sweet green on, it will be me and your ass, Mr. Postman. Also, I need someone to put together a wreath, a crown wreath for Bodie. It got to fit his head.
Yeah, like especially after Bodhi's demonstration, everybody's going to be super willing to help.
I need someone to get me a black sword and a black sword, a green sword, and two gold ones.
Yeah, we got people. Yeah, no, we have people who can make some stuff.
Okay. Like he's making sure everything is getting done. He's had music and lights kind of pointed out in different places. All right, I need you to point that light that way, that light right there. You put that sound system right there. No, you cannot play the new. Listen. GNX is great. The new Kendrick is great, but you can't play that right now. Don't ask me why, because like play the track I got you. Like it's important ritual. It's not a block
Mhm.
party.
And slowly but surely the ritual is coming together.
Texting Bodie, I need you at the docks.
I am already
Send.
on my way to the docks.
Okay, what's your estimated time?
How far is it from the docks to from the university to the docks?
University is that's a close to like 40 minutes.
Say like 40 minutes or so.
He'll be here in 40 minutes, so I'm giving you 20 minutes to have all of this together. Sound better be working in 10 minutes, and I swear to God, Mrs. Johnson, that better be vegan.
It was not, but she.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. You know what? That's my fault. You know what? It was my fault asking you to make vegan. That is not in your wheelhouse. And you know what? And we love you for that, Mrs. Johnson. Oh my God, I know that's not sea green. And he's still making sure all this stuff is getting together.
Okay. And slowly, as it always does, things come together. Eventually, Bodhi pulls up.
Uh, he's also making sure. Okay, and where? I swear to God, she better have that robe.
Stacy pulls up with the robes you requested, as well as a nice emerald green and black. Uh, do you know those like I want to say like English kings in like the 1400s that had like the big puffy pants and the crown and like the
Yeah,
everything. One of those made specifically for you.
he's just throwing it on. Like, you know what? You
I don't
lucky.
even have time.
You so lucky that we are friends and we are like cousins. Because if not, I would not be putting up with this. But like, I don't got time for this. And he's already like fitting Bodhi with like the reef crown and like kind of throw the robes at him. Like, put that on.
All right.
Gotta wait for him.
So
Okay, make sure that music is going.
Music is rolling.
so what is your plan here?
Okay, so you are going to imbue these three plants' life in a circle. I got four of my guys with their swords. They're gonna hold it up, and you are going to enact divinity, and that'll be sealing the deal on like the three of these plants.
All right.
The two gold swords are divinity. The green one is life, and that black one is there to sever the ties of any negativity brought on by this thing.
Good.
You're gonna spin as you're invoking that divinity with the green one. I hold the black one, and then two others of your choosing hold the gold one.
All right. If this thing knows we're coming for it, be prepared for it to show up.
I already got a truck. I got a U-Haul full of guns and a bunch of stuff to like cut up any fish or plant like stuff if we have to get it.
Yeah. Well, use that for any if it brings um, any outside assistance, um, and if it comes on its own, I'm gonna bring it to meet mom.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, one more thing. One more thing. He takes out one of the disposable cameras, kind of takes a bunch of pictures. It's still African American, still African American. We got to take a bunch of pictures like that. It's going to the family album. Boy, inside the family album. All right, baby. Now you go on ahead and go and some of the things so you can go ahead and summon mom.
All right. So once the ritual's everything's in place, we'll begin the ritual for uh, putting legend directly into these plants to banish the um, Cthulhu from the city.
The sky rumbles.
Mm-hmm.
It looked at first it looks like just a rainstorm that was like rolling in. But the speed at which it started rolling in and the amount of rain that just like happened seemed much more intentional, especially because you're just about to banish an entity who essentially exists as clouds.
Mm-hmm.
Did you do anything to protect the trivial targets in the area?
Oh yeah. Invoking my own divinity, war divinity, marching orders and everything, making sure that there's some form of guardian somewhere to protect any potential um innocents getting harmed, things like that.
Okay.
I'm going to uh, use as part of the ritual a uh, to tap into adamant admonishment
Mm-hmm.
um, to prevent to try to prevent the entity from attacking.
Okay. Yeah, oh, that fine. That's fine. You can look directly at it. Um, and it seems as if it has no intention of attacking.
What is it doing?
It is because it is just like a sea of like arms and eyes and teeth. Like it is staring intently at you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not looking away.
Yeah.
Come on, come meet your fate.
But yeah. It does not seem to be making a move.
All right. I do have a dot of awareness, and I'm going to try to tap into that awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Actually, I'm gonna take a step back. How's the ritual working? Is it seem to be other than just summoning it here?
Um, so it's working in multiple ways. So it works for you trying to one banish it, but also use your plant divinity. But it's also a way for me to cut this thing's fate away from the city.
All right. So yeah, we're gonna go through the ritual to imbue the plants with that power to give them that legend.
Okay. And you said you were using awareness for something?
I'm holding it at the time being and waiting for it to react.
Okay. So you begin the ritual and your skin begins to itch.
Mm-hmm.
The deluge continues, but because of the marching order, no one leaves. Shall you continue the ritual?
Yeah.
Uh, yeah.
All right. Ritual continues. The pain in your chest begins to expand.
Mm-hmm.
Um, deluge continues. People do not leave.
And now this is happening. Every so often, you hear the sound of Nolan slamming that sword, that black sword, into the ground, representing him cutting off an influence from this creature. Like every time it tries to reach its tentacles and expand its reach, it shall not pass. It's getting cut.
Every time you slam the sword into the ground, uh, Bodhi is pained by something.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Keep going.
He keeps going.
Well, right? Three of four. You cannot see each other as the rain has progressed far enough. But at this point, like you don't need to see each other to know that you're there. Um, Bodhi is verbally expressing pain now.
Bodhi may be in pain, but he's still. He may be able to hear the pain in his voice, but Bodhi is still going.
Hmm. All right, last part.
Yeah.
Nolan.
Um, Going to slam it down, but this time, instead of just slamming it into the ground, we watch as that green flame kind of ride up on top of the sword,
Hmm.
and he slashes the air around. Um, it looks like something from Devil May Cry when they were fighting and they cut through the rain. It kind of looks like that, like he just slid through and made like a whole circle around Bodhi and those who were standing with the swords around, and has cut something into the air and slammed the sword back down.
So as you cut through the air, you look and see that the plants are now surrounded by green flame, as is Bodhi.
Mm-hmm.
The rain dies down enough for it to be just like a heavy deluge. Like you can see, it's not like white out anymore. And Bodhi lies on the ground.
Hmm.
At this point in time, how is our friend in the sky looking?
You are unable to see right now because you're unconscious, close to death. And Nolan does not have the awareness to see.
I'm gonna tap into the epic stamina to keep this. He's gonna keep his eyes open to
Okay.
for the.
Uh, with your remaining awareness, you hear as your life force begins to ebb away. Good, just as planned.
I am going to attempt to uh, spend that darkness or that awareness and remaining legend to
Uh-huh.
pull the remaining whatever being entity that it has left into Bodhi and absorb all the darkness he can from this thing.
Nolan, you have seen this thing before. You were the first one to be like, "There's a goddamn Cthulhu in the air,"
Yeah,
but you didn't make that like direct connection. So you haven't seen it for this was this before your 9 month trip? It's been a while, we'll
been a
say.
while. Yeah,
Um, but you see it as it's begins to swirl and like tunnel into Bodhi's existence, um, sealing the darkness away within his body. But you also see Bodhi's body begin to disappear, break down, whether it's from the connection to the ritual or enclosing this mass amount of darkness into his form. Bodhi's not looking great. Also, while you did do marching orders, I'm gonna say the trivial civilians are like, the fuck is that?
yeah, yeah. No, that makes sense. Um, and he has had some of his extra guardians and stuff kind of guide them away to the evacuation areas. Uh, Main ritual, just to the first part of that ritual they were needed for, but now he's kind of have guided them away from everything
Yeah.
because this is more for like those with the divinity facing down this thing.
Okay. Um, question, Bodhi, would you have told Sasha you were coming? Would you have told Sasha and Silas you were coming? Either or.
No, they had other things to work on.
Just you go this way. Roll 2 successes, Sasha. Come on, one more. God damn it, fine. Yeah, Silas was busy. Sasha, being a vampire, could technically actually no. She knows you're in trouble, so she's gonna leave now. The trivial targets
Okay.
are gone. Um, I'm gonna say Viper would be supporting in any way he can right now. But there's not much. Uh, Nolan, what are you doing as you watch Bodhi begin to ebb away?
Um, Gripping that sword, he's just gonna go, all right, Bodhi's mother. Bodhi's mother, and also fuckface. I'm gonna punch him in the face, but I kind of need you guys to do a thing. Make sure that those two have their battle, and the citizens are nowhere connected to it as he slams that sword one final time into the ground.
Mm. As you slam the sword into the ground, you see a spectral sword that looks just like the one you're holding impale itself right into Bodhi's chest.
Right here it goes. Nothing. Golden swords.
Yep, your people with the golden sword, they come out.
Cut the space around him, and he is going to invoke his own divinity. He is creating a kind of like his own battlefield in this space for
Mhm.
our demigod and this guy to have it out.
Oh, I see what you're doing. There is one problem with that.
Hmm.
Bodhi is now, I don't know what the proper term would be for a demigod, but he's gone.
Hmm.
So, like, he was enclosing it, but with that final swing of the sword, they are gone. And so Bodhi has gone to his underworld now because he, unfortunately, since he was enraptured by this thing, the sealing of it also meant the sealing of him.
Oh, cool, 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 cool. I can figure this one out. Then he is instead still gonna have that space and wrap around Bodhi.
Mhm.
Just having that separate from everyone. So now there's like an extra layer, so this thing can't just get out.
Yep. It is
All
like
right.
trapped within Bodhi's body, trapped within this like interdimensional space.
All right, Bodhi's mother, and I
Uh,
think you should
Bodhi
be able to
is
figure this one out.
Bodhi as he is dying and going to the underworld.
mhm.
You don't. It's just going to reach out and let no one know. You don't need to reach out to her. I'm bringing it to this thing to her and her family, and we will deal with it there.
Cool. Then I am sealing this thing away here. So you guys figure it out. And he locks that sword in place.
Down by the docks, there is a pyramid-shaped interdimensional space that has a sword wedged into it. This is the final resting place of he who battles the eight great fears, Bodhi, in this interdimensional space, as he has trapped this Cthulhu-esque entity in order to protect Atusa. Uh, Nolan, as he turns and walks away, uh, has been part of this ritual to save Atusa from this thing that has been plaguing it for over a year at this point, and has been responsible for much of the problems that have recently come. And you look to the sky, this is the first time you feel like you can actually see the sky for what it is. It's a rainy day, but a very beautiful one. Uh, it's a little early, but considering where we are, I think we're going to call it. Um, as we have, unfortunately, a dead body, but this is Scion Demigod, and death is not an end, but only the beginning of a much larger, more epic story. And also, I'm going to spend all week trying to figure out how I can make Nolan feel super guilty but just because I'm not a perfect person and like this still what makes me happy. Oh my gosh. Thank you all so much for joining. This is always such a great way for me to end my Mondays. Thank you all for playing. Let us introduce ourselves and our characters going the reverse of what we did before. This time starting with Zach, aka Bodhi. Please tell us who you are, who you're playing, what's going on with Bodhi, and any of the pertinence you would like to share.
I am Zachary Naldra, he, him. I can be found at zachrulescom at the BS site. That's also my website, where I put, where you can find the stuff that I've written, and that's pretty much it. I haven't really been able to do much of it because I don't know what to do with the website. It's like a monkey with a wrench. He has it, doesn't know what to do with it. But yeah, anyways, yeah. So Bodhi understands that this is a life in existence on this world. On the world is a temporary thing, and he is going to go and do with what he has to do before he comes back, because that's what happens with reincarnation. So he's fine. He has absolutely no worries and is fully at peace with what he's had to do to make this happen. And then he's got his mom, and there's in all of her 21 forms,
Mhm.
and then her family. So if her mom can't handle it, his mom can't handle it. They got some backup to take care of this thing.
Bodhi very much is a true hero.
Yeah.
And I'm so looking forward to the introduction of Bodhi's mom, who has been very absent, as is her way, not the absence, but the watching, the growing, and her first big appearance is coming next week. Nolan, would you please tell us who you are, who you're playing, how Nolan is feeling, and any fun things you would like to share?
Hi. I played Nolan Peters. I am Crow. He, it. Um, you can find me on the BS site as Corvus. Um, yeah, Crow is like, oh my God. Um, but Nolan is like feeling guilty. This is probably his guilty training arc era. It is sad and emotional, and like at the same time, um, probably Stacy has taken a few pictures of like a sad Nolan, but he looks good in his outfit. Um, yeah, it's going to be interesting because Nolan's going to wait, but he's also training up at the same time and working on other things while guilty. It's going to be interesting.
Oh, beautiful. I cannot wait until next week. I think lots of fun.
He's lost two people now. Oh no, he's lost two people, two big people in his life. Oh no. We will figure that one out later.
I think this is what Nolan like really needs to like come to terms with, which gives me more idea to really rub the guilt in. Like I said, cannot wait for next week. Um, Once again, thank you all for joining. I hope you have a great week, whatever that week entails. Until next week, have a good one.